We need to understand the difference between, is religion, what is religion? What races? Is there a racial gene for religion? Is there a gene for religion, which is VMAT2, about which, there's a vaccine to get rid of it? And we also need to look at, examine, understand, introspectively study about the concept of God gene, VMAT2. Which races have the God gene? Which races do not have the ability to process and perform religion as is its right? Which races treat religion as an institution versus which races treat it as a pathway to a higher power? So we'll talk about, is religion causing disunity? Now, if we resort back to racial groupings, like Germany was 368 states, India was 567 states, America was divided into Spanish, English, Dutch, and British colonies. Canada was divided between English and French colonies. There were several small states in every large modern Western European country today. So, is racial unity better for the world, or is religious disunity? Because if the world was racially unified, with every race having its own kind of pathway to the Almighty, and having its own kind of pathway to reach nirvana, like in the previous days, Vikings had the Valhalla, the Chinese had the Buddhism, Taoism, Shintoism, the Muslims, Arabs, Middle Eastern people had the Islam, and then the Hindus had their pagan, and the Mayans had the pagan, the Latin Americans were pagan. Is religious, because religious sectarian disunity has also harmed Muslims quite a lot as well. So if Muslims were divided across racial lines, would that, now the thing is, when religion takes over, race becomes a problem, but when race takes over, religion becomes a problem. That's the issue here. When racial homogeneity takes over, then religion goes into peril. But when religious kingdom comes to power, the race becomes an occult way of disagreement, the underlying disagreement act. Moreover, I'd like to talk about how some societies are homoracial and heteroethnic, whilst other societies are homoethnic, homoracial, and heteroethnic. So I'd like to talk about some societies are homoracial but heteroethnic, and other societies are heteroracial and homoethnic. So societies so what I'm talking about is homoracial, heteroethnic, and heteroracial and homoethnic, right? So this is what now Britain is an example of a heteroracial but homoethnic society, and India, Pakistan, China, Ipsaba region, the Ipsaba region, which is India, Pakistan, Iran, Pakistan, China, Iran, India, Bangladesh, Arab world, and Africa. This is called the Ipsaba region in race studies, and this region, has a feudal mindset. It's been subjected to colonialism as well as imperialism of its own kind. So it has a very feudal, tribal kind of a mindset, role assigning mindset. Now, this region is an example of a homoracial but heteroethnic society, whereas England, postmodern West, is an example of heteroracial but homoethnic society. Now, if you look at England, almost all, England's a heteroracial but homoethnic society. So you have Indians, you have South Asians, you have East Asians, you have Indian, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Chinese, and blacks, African blacks, and Caribbean blacks. Okay, so now the issue is, almost all of the Pakistanis are from almost one part of Pakistan. Almost all of the Indians are from Gujarat. Almost all of the Bangladeshis are from Sylhet. Almost all of the, large majority of African blacks are from Ghana or Nigeria. Almost all of the Caribbean blacks are from Trinidad and Tobago, or so. But then and then you have the English. Almost all of them are from England, and a few from Ireland. So Britain's a classic, and Germany is a classic example of heteroracial, homoethnic societies, because although it has lots of ethnicities, but almost all of those ethnicities are uniform, geographically uniform. They are from one region. And then you have societies like Ipsaba region, Iran, Pakistan, China, India, Bangladesh, Arab world, Africa. These are homoracial societies, but the ethnicities are very varied. Now, it is said, and I've concluded, it is easier to divide and rule over homoracial heteroethnic societies rather than heteroracial homoethnic societies, and that's what my research is. Thank you.